Take a few moments to set yourself up in a traditional child's pose. So your knees are together, feet are together, bum down towards your heels, forehead down towards the floor, and your hands reach behind your toes with your palms facing up. Just let your body be heavy here for a few breaths, taking an opportunity to ground yourself, to let go of whatever you were just doing or whatever's been on your mind, and just breathe. Each exhale making you a little heavier, sinking a little deeper. Within your next couple of inhales, bring yourself up into a tabletop position to find some cat-cows. Your inhales to drop your belly, eyes up, tailbone up, and your exhales the reverse, chin towards your chest, middle of your spine, highest point of your back. Do that as many times as it feels nourishing, 3 to 10. When you're ready, you can grab your props, having a block or two or a bolster. Having a pillow nearby can also be helpful. So we're going to move into the psoas stretch. So using a bolster, a block, a couple blocks with a pillow on top, lay back with your sacrum flat on the block so that you feel balanced and supported. Reach your feet up towards the ceiling. Make sure you're not tipping forward or back. When you're ready, you can hug your right knee in towards your chest and then slowly, reaching through your left heel, drop it down towards the floor. Now notice the tendency to want to bend your knee as you get closer to the floor, and really challenge yourself to keep it as straight as possible for as long as possible until your heel rests down on the floor. Once your leg rests down, relax it as you squeeze your right knee in towards your chest. And notice if you're holding tension in your jaw or shoulders, and try to relax. Now aim to hold this position for 3 to 10 breaths. You can play around with your ankle mobility if that feels good, without rushing your breath. When you're ready, you can drop your foot down to the inseam of your left leg and then open up your right knee for a half butterfly or a supine tree pose with your sacrum still on that block. Just allow your body to be heavy. Again, 3 to 10 breaths, depending on how much time or space you have for your practice tonight. And then when you're ready, you can slowly point your right knee back up until your foot lands flat. Pick up both feet, reach them up towards the sky, and then opposite leg. So your left knee is pulled in towards your chest. Reach through your right heel. Keep your leg long as you slowly drop it down towards the floor. Again, being mindful that you're not bending your knee. And once your leg lands flat, relax it as you pull your left knee in tighter. Focus on your breath. And aim to match the number of breaths or amount of time as you did on the other side. Just feeling your shoulders heavy. Your head is heavy. Your hips slowly releasing with each exhale. And when you're ready, you can drop your left foot back down towards the floor. And then open up for that half butterfly on this side. Just notice the difference this side versus the other. Just so that you're being mindful and aware of what you're feeling in your body. Just a few breaths here. When you're ready, you can plant your left foot flat. Bend your right knee, push down through both feet. Lift your hips to remove the block. Then you're going to bring yourself forward and make your way into your pigeon pose. So start with your left knee off to the left-hand side. So over towards the outside of your left hand. And walk your right foot back, back, back to get your hips as close to the floor as possible. Take a deep inhale to feel the length of your spine, and then exhale, just melt your body forward towards the floor. Just take a few breaths here. Just notice if your hips feel out of balance or if there's any pain in your knee. Make any adjustments you need so you feel balanced and secure and supported. So you can just relax and let go. If it feels good to stay there, then pause this video and stay. But otherwise, you're going to lift up a little bit and then roll all the way over to your left hip till your bum lands down. And then bend slightly into your right knee off to the side. So not quite a 90-90, but making our way there. And then melt forward again. So very similar sensation and stretch as your pigeon, but just a little bit of a different angle. And again, if you're feeling like you want more space and time for your practice, then pause the video here. Otherwise, push down through your palms, lift your body back up into your pigeon, and then push all the way back into a high plank just to drop down onto your belly. Bring your elbows straight out from your shoulders and your palms flat on the ground. Push down through your palms, lift your chest. Slight tuck back of your shoulders, so you're reaching your heart through the frame of your shoulders, lengthening the front and back of your neck. Just a couple breaths there, and then melt your chin back down. Now walk your hands out wide from your shoulders, elbows pointing out up onto tented fingertips. And then again, inhale to lift up. And exhale, melt your heart back down. And we'll move to the other side for pigeon. So your right knee comes to the outside of your right wrist. Walk your left foot back, back, back. Get your hips as close to the floor as possible. Right away, just notice what sensations feel different on this side. Find your deep inhale for lengthening your spine and exhale to melt down towards the floor. Bringing in a few deep belly breaths here. Just feel your body melt towards the floor. Allowing your breath to be the loudest and most interesting thing happening inside of you. Now, if you took extra time on the other side, then pause the video here to do that on this side. Otherwise, push down through your palms to lift your body up. And then again, we're just rocking over to the right side. Slight bend into your left knee, lifting your knee up slightly. And then exhale, melt forward over your right thigh. A few deep belly breaths here to just let go. Getting your body ready for sleep. Softening your breath. You can stay here for a while longer if it felt good on the other side. Otherwise, you're pushing back into a high plank just to drop down onto your belly. This time you're going to bring your hands out wide, straight out from your shoulders. Inhale, lift your right foot, bend your knee, and then roll onto your left hip and left shoulder. You can keep your toes just barely touching the floor. And if you're feeling quite open, you can try to get your full foot flat on the floor and point your knee straight up towards the sky. There's no right or wrong here. Just listen to what your body's asking for and what feels nourishing. After a few breaths on this side, you're going to use your next inhale to come back flat onto your belly. Chin down, and then inhale, left leg lifts, bend your knee, roll onto your right side, right ear down. And then again, either your toes barely touching the floor or root your foot down to point your knee up a little higher towards the sky. A few deep belly breaths here. And when you're ready, with your next inhale, you're going to lift your left foot and slowly roll back flat onto your belly. And then flip onto your back. Nice deep bend into your knees with your feet close towards your bum. Hands out wide. You're going to lift your hips up, bring your hips over to the right, drop them back down, and then pick up your knees and your feet to rock over onto your left side for a supine twist. Now once you land down, take an inhale to pull your head out of your waist, trying to lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, see if you can get your right shoulder a little closer towards the ground. Your right hip is stacked on top of the left, your knee stacked, your ankle stacked. and your right ear is tracking towards the floor. Take a few deep belly breaths here. And if you'd like more time here, pause the video. Otherwise, with your next inhale, roll the back of your head flat. Pick up your knees and your feet until your spine is flat. Push down through both feet to reposition yourself at the center of your mat, and then hug your knees in towards your chest. Rock side to side, massage your low back a little bit. And then drop your feet down again. Lift your hips up, move them to the left, drop them down. Lift your knees and ankles, and then roll to the opposite side. Again, once you land down, and inhale to lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, perhaps your left shoulder will be able to touch the floor along with your left ear. A few deep belly breaths to ground you. Noticing the difference this side versus the other. Without engaging or telling stories, you're just noticing. And if you took more time on the other side, then do that for yourself on this side. Otherwise, with your next inhale, roll the back of your head flat. Pick up your knees and your feet. Recenter yourself by dropping your feet down, finding the center of your mat. And then you're going to roll over again. And this time you'll start in a tabletop position with your hips right above your knees. And then just walk your hands forward for puppy pose. You can rest your chin down or your forehead down. And the goal here is to keep your bum straight up above your knees so you're not pulling forward or tipping back. Your hands are about shoulder distance. Your elbows are melting down. And your armpits are melting towards the floor. Letting your heart melt a little deeper into the floor. After a few deep belly breaths here, slowly bring yourself back up and find your traditional child's pose, just as we started. Just notice the difference you feel in your body. Thank yourself for moving through your practice, and have a great sleep. Namaste.